As with many of my videos, this one's going to start off with us talking about Lee Iacocca. Yes, he was named the president of Ford Motor Company in December 1970, but his way of doing business often put him in conflict with his boss, Henry Ford II. Things got so tense between the two of them that in 1975, Henry Ford II spent $1.5 million in company money to investigate Iacocca's business practices and his private life. Early in 1978, Iacocca was told that he needed to report to Philip Caldwell, Ford's then chief executive officer, and not to Henry Ford II. Iacocca then made an attempt to appeal to the board of directors of Ford Motor Company, kind of tried to do an end run around Henry Ford II. Henry Ford II called Iacocca into his office on July 13, 1978, and showed him the door, saying, "Sometimes you just don't like somebody." The following year, Iacocca was hired as the president of Chrysler. Now, what's this have to do with today's video? Well, a lot, really. While Iacocca was at Ford, there was a push among some of the executives and some of the designers to produce a garageable van. This was run by Hal Sperlich and his crew, and they started work on a prototype after talking to Iacocca. When Henry Ford II heard this, he just said, "No, we're not doing that. Stop." Sperlich came to Chrysler with Iacocca when Iacocca left, and of course his garageable van idea gets new life. The Voyager and its sister Dodge, the Caravan, in their first year of production sold 209,000 units. Sales from there kept skyrocketing. These were front-wheel drive, car-based minivans. No other manufacturer had an answer for these vehicles. There was nothing like it on the market. Ford Motor Company dug back into their archives and looked at Sperlich's prototype. It was based on a truck, and that's where we get to today's video. That prototype became the Ford Aerostar. Now, Ford spent $300 million developing the Aerostar, which in the automotive business isn't a lot of money, but let's see if that investment paid off.
It has been proven that the more aerodynamically styled a vehicle is, the easier it slices through the air. And now, Ford brings you the age of Aerostar. Aerostar, the most aerodynamic design in its class. Aerostar, take it to the school. Take it to the campsite. Take it to the movies. Take it to the lumberyard, or take it to the max. Yes, anywhere you take it, Aerostar proves its versatility. Aerostar. Ford Aerostar.
Launched in 1985 as a 1986 model, the Aerostar featured a unique chassis developed specifically for the model line. It combined unibody chassis construction with full-length frame rails. This provided the Aerostar with a 5,000-pound tow rating. That was 2.5 times that of the Chrysler minivan. It was distinguished by its sloped nose design. The Aerostar utilized a one-box design similar to the Ford Transit and utilized a long wheelbase. This placed the wheels near the corners of the body, minimizing body overhangs. In an effort to further improve its fuel efficiency and aerodynamics, Ford included bumper covers and made all the glass flush with the van's body. The Aerostar employed unequal length A-arms and coil springs for the front suspension. The rear suspension was a coil-sprung live rear axle fitted with a 3-length configuration. Brakes were front disc and rear drum. There were 2 engine options. A 100 horsepower 2.3-liter inline 4-cylinder was standard, with a 115 horsepower 2.8-liter V6 offered as an option. A change early in production saw the 2.8-liter engine replaced by a 145 horsepower 3.0-liter V6. Transmissions included a 4-speed automatic, and the Cargo XL Aerostars could be equipped with a 5-speed manual transmission. The Aerostar passenger van was made in 2 trim levels, the base trim XL and a deluxe trim XLT. Many of the features standard on the XLT were available as extra cost options on the XL, such as power windows, mirrors, locks, air conditioning, and privacy glass. XLT trim wagons also include the following features as extra cost options: a second row of captain's chairs, an 8-speaker AM/FM stereo with cassette player, premium AM/FM cassette sound system with a 7-band equalizer and rear seat headphone jacks, 2-tone paint, and 14-inch aluminum wheels. Ford delivered 156,720 Aerostars in 1986. 1987 was almost a complete carryover year for the Aerostar. Ford changed almost nothing to the van. Ford delivers 184,197 Aerostars for the 1987 model year. 1988 sees the 2.3-liter engine drop from the Aerostar, with the 3.0-liter V6 becoming the sole engine offering. The Aerostar was one of the first vehicles to feature the outdoors-themed Eddie Bauer brand as a trim package. The Aerostar Eddie Bauer was marketed towards luxury buyers. The Eddie Bauer trim combined the interior convenience features of the XLT trim with two-tone exterior paint and a tan outdoors-themed interior. As on the XLT, cloth seating surfaces were standard. A standard on the Eddie Bauer trim package was a feature that allowed the second and third row bench seats to fold flat into a large bed. There were no other changes of note for 1988. Ford delivers 186,971 Aerostars in 1988.
And now, Ford extends its very best. The 89 Extended Length Aerostar is here with a distinctive look unlike any other minivan. If you like to go first class, this is the one for you. There's luxurious comfort inside, and now loads of extra space in the back. Plenty of V6 power, too. Even phone jacks for private listening. So why not go first class in the 89 Ford Aerostar?
Have you driven a Ford lately?
1989 sees the introduction of the Extended Aerostar. This extended the body 14 inches and provided additional cargo room behind the rear seat. The XLT Eddie Bauer trim was available in both body configurations. There were no other changes of note for 1989, and Ford delivers 257,436 Aerostars in 1989.
While it's not unusual to find a four-wheel drive vehicle in an environment like this, you may be surprised to find an environment like this in a four-wheel drive vehicle. Ford Aerostar four-wheel drive with standard rear anti-lock brakes and a powerful 4-liter V6 engine. It handles the road as easily as it handles Mother Nature.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
1990 sees Ford add the 160 horsepower 4.0-liter V6 as an option. Also new was an all-wheel drive system. The all-wheel drive was called the electronic four-wheel drive and was developed specifically for the Aerostar model line. It utilized the Dana TC28 transfer case with a center differential regulated by an electronically controlled electromagnetic clutch. All four wheels received traction at all times. To accommodate the added weight and friction losses, the system was paired to the higher torque 4.0-liter V6 and an automatic transmission. There were no other changes of note, and Ford delivers 196,951 Aerostars in 1990. 1991 was a carryover year for the Aerostar. There were no changes of note to options or to offerings. Ford delivers 172,535 Aerostars in 1991. 1992 brings an interior revision to the Aerostar. Ford adds a driver's side airbag and 3-point seat belts for all 6 outboard seats. Also, the dashboard undergoes a complete redesign. Both analog and digital instrument panels are replaced by more legible units. The controls were improved, and Ford introduced a column shift automatic transmission. Leather seating is now optional. Also introduced is the Aerostar Sport. It was introduced as an option package available for any non-Eddie Bauer Aerostar wagon. It was a largely cosmetic upgrade, distinguished by silver accented paint and sport pinstriping. The Sport featured integrated running boards with a color-matched front air dam and rear mud flaps. The XLT Aerostar Sports all featured aluminum wheels, and the XLs sported full wheel covers. Ford delivers 181,416 Aerostars in 1992. 1993 through 1997 sees little change to the Aerostar's offerings for the lineup. 1993 saw an integrated child safety seat become an option. The 5-speed manual transmission was dropped in 1995 as it was nearly exclusive in cargo vans and XL trim. In 1997, a 5-speed automatic transmission was introduced for the 4.0-liter V6. Ford delivers 288,700 Aerostars in 1993, 155,531 in 1994, 124,911 in 1995, 69,789 in 96, and finally 69,397 in 1997. The biggest change to the Aerostar was the introduction of the Windstar. The Windstar was a front-wheel drive car-based platform, its first year, it sold 346,000 units. That's way more than any Aerostar year ever. I would contend that Ford's biggest mistake with the Aerostar was basing it on a truck. Rear-wheel drive was great for towing capacity, but people that were looking to buy a minivan in the late 80s, early 90s, they weren't looking to tow things. If they wanted to tow something, they bought a truck, or they bought a big SUV, a Bronco, not a minivan. Ford missed their target audience with this vehicle.
Now throw them good and hard so they'll stick.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Mercury had no counterpart to the Aerostar. They didn't have a minivan segment. And Ford seemed like it realized its mistake when Mercury got together with Nissan and came up with the Voyager. The Voyager was really just a Nissan van that was relabeled Mercury, and they restyled the body a little bit. But it was front-wheel drive and it was based on a car. The Voyager's first year with far less Mercury dealers sold 208,000 units. Chrysler was first to market with the minivan, and they brought a platform that America wanted to buy. Ford and GM, not so much. Would Ford have brought a front-wheel drive minivan to market had Lee Iacocca and Hal Sperling stayed at Ford Motor Company? It's doubtful. They still had oversight, and Henry Ford II was never that excited about that vehicle, and he just didn't think it would sell. The Aerostar was Ford's first minivan. If you enjoy first of their kinds of Ford products, check out Ford's first SUV. It's over here. It's the first generation Bronco. Of course, that SUV is very different from any SUV we have today. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. There's plenty more like this on the channel. Also, click that like button. That way other people see this video. That's how YouTube works. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll see you.